Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for SteveArts89. Well, I couldn't let this go without comment. Lower Decks, Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 1, Episode 1 has been downloaded onto YouTube for free. They've got no distribution, nobody wanted it, Netflix didn't want it, Amazon didn't want it, no one else wanted it, no one would pay for it. So the only way to get it out there and hopefully have people see it is to put it on YouTube for free. Oh, that's sad. Now they did the same thing with Discovery, I think Season 2. I don't know if they did it with Picard. I didn't care. I've got Netflix, and I was not going to watch it more than once, and I wasn't going to give them a view to look at it. Unfortunately, I did give Lower Decks a review so I could comment on it and give it a downvote. The things you have to do. But yeah, I saw that and I'm like, wow, it's just sad. I don't know what else to say. No one wanted it. They couldn't get a distribution deal for it. They claim that it was because of coronavirus that pushed the schedule out of where they were. I think they were saying that it actually moved the schedule up. They were planning to release it later, but they had to release it sooner because they needed content, because filmed content that was supposed to be, I guess, scheduled wasn't happening, so they had to rush it. So therefore, they didn't have the distribution deal in order, because apparently they were doing it last minute. Like that was really the situation. The distribution deal would have been sorted out months or years ago. There's no way they were waiting to do it like the week before the show opens, or so soon to the show that whenever they announce it. When did they announce the actual date? I can't remember. It was recently. So there's no way that was the case. There's no way that's what happened. But they're just covering because they don't want to admit they don't have a distribution deal for international distribution, because nobody wants it. Because Discovery didn't do very well, and Picard started off well but went down the toilet very quickly once people realised it wasn't a continuation of Next Generation. It wasn't the captain everyone wanted to see, that they were familiar with. It was some other Jake Picard version of him, which is what people were calling him, which I think was a reference to Mark Hamill referring to the Luke Skywalker in the second Star Wars one. What was that one called? The Last Jedi? Yeah, The Last Jedi. How did I forget that name? Everyone's talking about it for years, but The Last Jedi, he referred to the character as Jake. He had to think of him as Jake Skywalker because it wasn't Luke, and he couldn't play him because it wasn't Luke. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, in the past, I would have been really excited about this because, oh, yes, I'm getting it for free. I don't have to pay for it, or, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's just sad. I don't know. They just keep scraping the bottom of the barrel, and I just don't know when it's going to end. Now, our beloved Alex Kurtzman, Star Trek's nemesis. Now, you'll remember he came to Star Trek as part of a two-person deal. He was the non-Star Trek fan, the Star Wars fan, that was partnered with a Star Trek fan, and the two of them were going to make a more generic Star Trek that would appeal to everyone, not just Star Trek fans. That was the whole reason he was brought on to Star Trek. But then they fired the Star Trek fan because he wrote a film that was a sequel, which would have been beyond the third Star Trek film of the reboot sequel, the JJ sequel, the JJ verse, the Kelvin verse. So they fired him because that, and he swore at Star Trek fans and abused Star Trek fans, me included. I was in that thread actually on Trek Movie that he was abusing. So, and sadly, that was because he was more honest and more real than any of them. They just talk, PR, and they just, talk at fans and don't really answer any questions. He at least was interacting with fans. He was on the websites and in the chat rooms, and he got upset. And I think that was part of what done him in. The rest was the fact that he actually was trying to create an actual Star Trek movie sequel, and they didn't like it because, it won't appeal to everyone, which means it appeals to no one, which means nobody cares about it, and it doesn't get the kind of following and support that the other films, the other series got, like people buying merchandise and rewatching. So yeah, Kurtzman basically went on, he was interviewed somewhere. Ket Wolski, Mr. Wolski, I call him Ket. He was going on about it, saying, "Oh, this is confirmation that all the Star Trek shows are happening," because he said, "Oh, we're writing all the shows. We're in basically we're Skyping all the shows, the writing of the shows, so therefore they're happening." I'm like, no, that doesn't mean they've got funding. That doesn't mean they've been greenlit. That doesn't mean they've got a episode order, season order, whatever they call it. That just means they're being paid by Secret Hideout, and they have to do something with their time, so they're writing outlines and just being hopeful and trying to be prepared in case they do actually get a series order or something. But I don't see it happening. Certainly not for Section 1, maybe not even for Strange New Worlds. I don't know about Season 4 of Discovery. It seems like it's been shut down. Some people suggested that they didn't tear down the sets, they just moved them because they were going to be filming it somewhere else next year, which doesn't seem to make sense when you're trying to save money on a series like that. But I don't know. Because there's some talk that there are actually things being set up for the series, like it's going into production, but this is all speculative. But so he did an interview where he said we're writing episodes for all the series, Season 4 of Discovery, Season 2 of Picard, Strange New Worlds, and Section 31, so therefore, they're happening. I don't think so. So, okay, I had to say something about that. I saw that just a second ago, and I just had to say something about them giving it away for free. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Wow. And just before I forget, Rotten Tomatoes. The Lower Deck score is it's the lowest of all the Star Trek series, New Trek Star Trek series. It's 35% for the audience score, 66% for the critic score, which is way below Star Trek Discovery, which is 42% for the audience score and 81% for the critic score. And Star Trek Picard, which is at the highest, at 57% for the audience score, although that's down from the 80s where it started, and 87% for the critic score. I just had to mention that. Thanks.